Hello again, and welcome to another Tuesdays at 2. Happy Tuesdays to everybody watching today and watching the replay when it goes on YouTube. My name is Martin Buckland, and I host this educational episode each week to inform you about career management. Each week there is a different topic. And this week we're going to be talking about something that's very intriguing and has become over the years even more important to you as somebody who wants to manage their career. The title of today's topic is Corporate Culture. Tell me more. Corporate culture. Tell me more. I'm an executive career management practitioner and I manage and advance the careers of senior executives and those who aspire to be business leaders. So, welcome to today's Tuesdays at 2. Please feel free in the comment box below. Ask any question, doesn't have to be related to today's topic. It can be related to anything going on in your career, anything bugging you on your mind that you want to ask a question, and I will answer it as we go through this episode. So, again, today's topic is corporate culture. Tell me more. Yes, you need to ask questions during an interview about the corporate culture. Each company, each entity, even in the same space, has a different culture. That is going to be very, very important to you. You want to have a happy, engaging, exciting culture and workplace where you want to hone your career. So you need to, in the interview, ask some probing questions on their corporate culture. But in a few minutes, as this unfolds, I will tell you more how to research that corporate culture. So hold fire, hang on in this episode, and I will tell you how to find out about that culture. So, would you want to be working in an unhappy environment, a company which doesn't fit your culture and is against what your standards and maybe your ethics are? Probably not. In fact, I would say not, N-O-T, capital letters. Don't go and work for a company where you're going to be unhappy. Sadly, there are so many people who are unhappy in their career, and they perhaps need to do something about that because in today's very vibrant, robust hiring economy, recruitment is like rampant across the world, not just here in Canada, but across the world. So perhaps you need to embrace a career transition if you are unhappy in your job. But go and look for the right fit, the right corporate culture. So you don't want to be unhappy. You don't want to work in some environment where perhaps they don't meet your ethics or your standards, or around the water cooler, they talk about topics that really you don't want to hear. So happiness is very, very important. And part and parcel of that overall career happiness is corporate culture. It's what is corporate culture? It's the beliefs and behaviors determining our internal and external communications, not just internally but externally. What brand do they have? What do they exude confidence in the brand? If you want to go and work for that company, you need to have to do some searching for the brand as well. What are their brand ethics? So corporate culture is becoming a huge thing. Many years ago, when I first started in this business, it wasn't as important. But now you need to manage your career. Don't let your employer manage your career. So, corporate culture is the beliefs and the behaviors internally and externally. So, a good corporate culture involves higher retention, higher staff retention, lower turnover, and it attracts a higher quality of candidates. So a good corporate culture is higher retention, obviously lower turnover, and higher quality candidates like you. You could be a candidate if you wanted to execute a career transition for anything today because of the hiring, the very robust hiring. Please please come in with those comments. Any questions? I'm more than happy to answer them as this presentation unfolds. So good corporate culture is higher retention, lower turnover, and higher quality candidates. So it's based on a set of core values, realistic values, and it ignites the human resources, the employees' excitement and engagement. Those with a questionable corporate culture aren't really competitive, and they probably fail on a number of areas, maybe revenue generation. So you need to, as I say, you need to go and do your research into the most active, the most beneficial, find the most beneficial corporate culture to you, because you are a product and you're sending that product to the market. So think about, is it realistic? Does it ignite? Does it excite you? Does it thrill you to go and work for it? When you wake up on Monday morning, do you want to go and work for that company? Is their corporate culture fitting your ethics, your standards? So, how do you find out about corporate culture prior to the interview? There are many ways. This is the way you need to do it because it takes a long time. Don't just walk or just start your corporate culture research an hour or two or three before you go to the interview. You need to plan this research. It can take a good time. So that's where career transition, job search takes a long time. So what you want to do is if you want to go and work for ABC Bank, you need to go and start networking using LinkedIn off the main hiring channel. So you need to start networking with people to the left and to the right of that hiring channel, not with the people who are in that channel, that hiring channel, who would be your boss or your boss's boss or even higher in that particular silo. But you need to go and start networking to the left and to the right and ask those people. Tell them you're applying for this particular job or you're considering working for ABC Bank. Can you please spend 5 or 10 minutes talking to me about the corporate culture? What do they talk about around the water cooler? Are they happy in their work? Are they miserable in the work? You don't go and work there. So you need to do a lot of research. So what I would suggest, using LinkedIn and be fearless on LinkedIn, connect with people who are currently employed off to the left and to the right of that hiring channel. Also, go and network with people who've just left that organization, ABC Bank, because they hold no allegiance and they can tell you a lot, perhaps more than people who currently work there. And you can find that by typing ABC Bank into LinkedIn and then just scroll through. Yes, it's very laborious and very, very time consuming, but you need to do your homework. The more homework you do, the more research you do before you enter that interview, the more confident you will be about yourself, because you are also going to sell yourself in that interview. So finding corporate culture doesn't happen overnight. Don't just think the day before you're going to start looking for that corporate culture, unless you're caught off guard and they say, well, can you come for an interview tomorrow? Then you really don't have much choice. So anybody got any comments? Dominique, what is the best way? Hang on, let me bring this one up. This is a good question, Dominic. Thanks for being here today. Dominic says, what is the best way to go back into an industry you left 7 years ago? That's a very, very interesting and thought-provoking question. Well, you may have some contacts there. The whole of career management revolves around relationship building and relationship managing. nurturing those people that were your employees, were your peers, and were your bosses. Don't never burn bridges. I've said this before. I never burn bridges. Look at those people who are in those particular in that particular industry you want to go back into. You probably know some. So re-engage the dialogue, re-engage the networking with those people. Because it doesn't matter where you are in the Western world, only a small percentile of jobs are advertised. So if you want to go again work for XYZ Bank, you need to go and network with people in that particular bank and people who you work with in that industry. That's going to bring you, Dominique, the best value. And they might be able to introduce you to somebody who's in the hiring or is looking for talent like you. So I've known people in my time as an executive career management practitioner go from here to there, go back into here, and go back into there, even to go from the corporate world to the entrepreneurial world and then go back into the corporate world. But there again, corporate culture, when you want to, that corporate culture could have changed dramatically in those 7 years. So you need to go and do your research. Hopefully that's answered your questions. So how to find corporate culture? I've explained that. Use LinkedIn. You need to be, everybody watching today needs to be furious on LinkedIn. LinkedIn is an amazing tool, just celebrating its 19th birthday. Fantastic tool. How did we exist for career management without LinkedIn? I don't know. I just can't remember it. It was tough. So let's come back to corporate culture. There are 4 types or 4 main types of culture, corporate culture. There's the clan, which is the family-like atmosphere. It's mentoring, it's nurturing, it's coaching, it's collaboration. The clan. That's another question coming in. Oh, Aldo, as a C officer, how do I start changing the corporate culture? Wow. Oh my gosh. I've never had the fortune of being a C-suite leader, but you are in the saddle and you have to pull the strings there. But don't just do it individually. You have to find out probably, this is a question that I'm sort of a bit not too I'm a bit hazy on, but this is my professional opinion. You need to go and look at the competition and see what their culture is, and perhaps you need to differentiate your corporation from the others that are in that competitive space. But you also need to build collaboration with your peers on the C-suite team and the next level down, and then maybe a plan. Everything revolves around planning a strategy to execute a corporate change. But that doesn't happen overnight. It's going to take you a long time, and you have to get buy-in from the employees for change. So the important thing here, Aldo, is communication, relationship building, relationship management, and open dialogue. Keep those channels open. And then the more open you are, without hiding anything away, be open and be honest, probably the more buy-in, the easier the buy-in will get. So that's my take on a C. If you're a C-suite officer looking to change the corporate culture, be distinct, but have a happy, engaging environment. Thanks for your question. That's a really great question. So let's go back to the 4 types. We did the clan, which is the family-like atmosphere, mentoring, nurturing, collaboration. The next one, the second one, is the adrocracy. So dynamic, entire values, really enticing values. It's a bit of risk taking and maybe a lot of innovation. So those companies, I would say, bulk of them are in the technical space or they're startups. So there's a lot of risk at stake, a lot of innovation, entrepreneurial values, values where they value every skill set. So you need to have more of an entrepreneurial background to be in an adhocracy environment or culture. And then the next one is a market culture, results oriented, value driven, competitive, and constantly on the go for driving those achievements. So a market the culture is results oriented, value driven, very competitive, and constantly seeking achievement. So those who are aspiring, very ambitious people, they will probably fit into that culture. More so the younger generation, maybe, but that's not to say that my generation, the baby boomers, could fit into that. But it's all very invariably startups and technical organizations, companies. And then the fourth and final one of the main suite, there are many more. There is the hierarchy. So this is very structured, very controlled. The management team, they want to keep stability. They want to drive efficiency. So they're always keeping their hands-on approach to the corporate culture. They rule the way. So which one would you like to go and work for? Would you like to go and work for the clan, the adhocracy, the market, or the hierarchy? Put it in the comments here. That would be a good test of seeing where you can go and work. The four main types of corporate culture. Now the question coming in from Aldo. Let me have a look at this one. How would you recommend to use corporate culture as a competitive tool in the market? So Aldo, he says, how would you recommend to use corporate culture as a competitive tool in the market? Well, you're asking some great questions, Aldo. Thank you very much. You're testing me. Very thought-provoking today. So everybody's in a competitive stance. So you need to distinguish yourself. So there again, you need to get an environment where you're going to generate higher retention. Your staff turnover is minimal, very low. You also want to attract through your social media presence, your brand recognition. I don't know what type of company, whether it's a product company, whether it's a research company, whether it's a service company. You need to attract the high top talent. You want to make people want to work for you. They want to apply in their masses to you. Think of the big companies like Google, Apple, Amazon. Everybody, virtually everybody I know wants to go and work for those three, and Spotify, and there are many, many others. So you need to create that image, that aura, that people want to come and work for you, because the success of a company today is the culture, but it's the people that work with them. If they have disengaged, disenfranchised, unhappy resources, people, employees, then that company is not going to do well and will flounder for a long time. So that's where you, Aldo, as a leader, can show your leadership and build those relationships, that open dialogue from top to bottom, to show you are a leader. You care about every single employee. Anybody got any other questions? So that sort of wraps it up about corporate culture. I could talk a lot more about corporate culture, but you need to, before you go enter that interview, you need to find out the corporate culture. So research. using LinkedIn, using Facebook. What does their Facebook page say about them? Go and Google them. What do people say about them? Glassdoor. Glassdoor is an amazing platform for you to go and do a lot of research. What employees talk about the company where you will go and like to work. So spend a voluminous amount of time doing your research. It will be to your benefit. I know it's very laborious, but it will be to your benefit when you enter that interview, because you will be well armed. You also want to ask questions in the interview. Remember, an interview is a two-way, not a one-way, but it's a two-way dialogue, a meeting of the minds to see whether there is a fit, not just skill set fit, but corporate fit. So I'll wrap it up now, so unless anybody's got any other questions. So I will be back here next Tuesday with another Tuesdays at 2. This will be number 83. I will take your question in a minute, Aldo. And it says, I am worried no one is replying to me when I apply online. No, I am worried no one is replying to me when I apply online. So Aldo, let's come with another question. Let me bring it up for everybody to see. I am interviewing some people. How do I determine if they are the proper fit? Whoa, you are challenging me today, Aldo. Well, there again, it's a dialogue. You have to ask those questions. You have to do your research on those people just as they're doing their research on you. So, what companies have they worked for? Have they worked for people in your market before, in your or competitors? So you have to. There's a lot more that goes into researching those people. Not too sure whether you're going to be on an interview panel or whether you're going to who you're interviewing, whether they're going to be vice presidents or whatever. But you need to ask probing questions in the interview. So next Tuesday at 2, please join me, and when we have that other topic. But I'm also excited. I have my once a month Career Coaches Rant. Career Coaches Rant, where I go live on all the social media channels, 10 a.m. Eastern Time, this coming Saturday. And my topic this week is an outdated resume CV reduces the impact. And what message does it send to a person hiring you? This is where I rant. I get quite furious, for want of a better term. Online, you'll see me, and I get the rant in me, and I want to rectify why people should update their resume, their CV. You need to be totally up to date, because you want to be number one. So join me on Saturday for my Career Coaches Rant. I'll be in a different studio and I'm ready to rant. I can already feel that I'm getting excited for next Saturday, 10 a.m. Eastern Time. An outdated resume CV reduces the impact. And what message does it send to a person hiring you? Then next week, I start another live, Mondays at 9 a.m. and Fridays at 5 p.m. So it's called Career Tips for a Crazy World. Career Tips for a Crazy World. Monday, 9 a.m., 2 p.m., Friday, Eastern Standard Time, where I'm on for very short, just a few seconds, 1 minute maximum. And I will give you some more career tips to benefit your career management. So thanks everybody for joining me. It's been very enjoyable. I love coming on. That's why I'm going to do more live streaming. Stand by for some more announcements regarding podcasting, where I'm interviewing executive recruiters. In fact, co-hosting with an executive recruiter on one podcast. So I'm really excited to share my 29 years 29 years of executive career management, managing careers and advancing careers. I want to help my clients. So anybody who wants a free, no obligation, no sales pitch resume critique, I'm more than happy to give that. Let me give you my email. So Martin at aneliteresume.com. I've just missed the E out there. And I'm more than happy to give anybody watching today a free, no obligation resume CV critique. And I'm also willing to give you a free, no obligation LinkedIn audit where I go through it from top to bottom. But I do say it as it is. And as we wrap this up, I have got many, many videos on my YouTube channel. So please do me a favor. If you've learned something from today, go to my YouTube channel and press that subscribe button and press the bell button where you will be notified of future videos. They are scheduled for about 2 a week until the end of the summer. And then I will be shooting some more videos to help you manage your career. So have a great week. I'm more than happy to help you in any way I can. My name is Martin Buckland. Until next Tuesdays at 2 and the Career Coaches Rant coming up Saturday, 10 a.m. Have a great week. Manage your career from right now on.